Hey guys, and welcome to the 100% non-biased September 2013 Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list prediction. Alright, so as you guys know that I actually did a previous list, and that one was a little bit biased. There were some good things to say, but most of it was biased. And then I had to do a little bit more research and such, and I came up with this list right here. So this one is completely non-biased. I played Elemental Dragons, Prophecy, Mermails, you name it, I played it. And I tried to gather up the cards to figure out which ones are going to be hit. So instead of this being like, I think this one is going to be like, I believe that Konami is going to do these ones, and pretty much we're just going to try to see how many of these I get correct, because I feel like this is the most biased and most viable list that you might find on YouTube. So we're just going to dive right into it. So the first card banned, Super Rejuve. We all saw this one coming. It's a big dragon hit. If you guys don't know, dragons are like 62% of the OCG, which is what they look at. And this card is definitely the card to supercharge it. Now, the dragons are too early to be hit, but you can definitely hit the older cards, and I feel like this card right here, which is super old, should definitely be hit. It's just an unfair card that nets you an unfair advantage. In the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! When it comes to drawing, the more you draw, the stronger your deck is, and what better card to draw than with this card when it comes to E-Dragons. I'll actually give you a scenario. I was actually playing at my locals one Saturday in the tournament. This person I'm doing this is using dragons. He goes baby dragon, discard the baby dragon, discard dragon, summon an adult dragon from the deck. Does another baby, discards the baby, discards another dragon, summons an adult dragon from the deck. Then proceeds to activate Super Rejuve. He discarded 4 dragons, draw 4. Now about Super Rejuve, it's a quick play spell, so you can activate it during the end phase. Super Rejuve, draw 4 cards. Super Rejuve, draw 4 cards. He drew 12 cards from playing 3. He plus 9. Yeah, this card just makes dragons just, super plus, They're already going to be using the baby, so they're already going to be discarding. So why are you going to reward them with this card? I was checking all of the decks in OCG when it came to Dragon Rulers and what decks topped, and all of them ran 3 Super Rejuves. There was actually a magazine that they actually printed in, I believe it was like a V-Jump, where they were basically explaining the top decks of Yu-Gi-Oh! And what cards they were planning on hit. What key cards of each deck, and the key card that they stated in Elemental Dragons was Super Rejuve. So some people say it's limited, but I feel like that's not even limited is good enough, because even it being at 1 is just a problem with being able to just draw. Just using one of the babies effect and playing this card is a pot of greed. You played one card, one Super Rejuve to draw 2 cards, the baby that you discarded itself and the card that you discarded as well. So it's already a pot of greed, which is banned. So this card is just too good, it's too situational, with only one deck being able to play it, and it's just unfair, so I believe that Super Rejuve will be banned. Next card, which is really hard to say, I feel like it's time for card destruction to be banned, and not just me, but in a Konami sense. Card destruction has always been that one card that has been there in Yu-Gi-Oh! History, and it just left its mark over the years. If you check, since the beginning of ban list history, ban lists first started in March 2003. And the first ban list had card destruction limited, and card destruction has been limited ever since. Now, I'm not saying that card destruction should be banned because of Dark Worlds. Dark Worlds aren't, a top deck anymore. The reason why I feel card destruction should be banned now is because, once again, dragons are exploiting it, and it's just becoming too unfair. As you guys know, Elemental Dragons, or Dragon Rulers, have basically 2 hands. One hand being their real hand, and one hand being their graveyard. So what better way than to activate card destruction, discard all the dragons in their hand, and draw a new hand full of more dragons, and then you basically have 2 hands off the draw. And, of course, going card destruction with Super Rejuve is just ridiculous. I was actually testing this myself. I opened up with 5 dragons and card destruction, activated card destruction, discarded all my dragons, drew more dragons, and guess what I happened to draw into? Yeah, 2 Super Rejuves. Okay, Super Rejuve, draw 5, Super Rejuve, draw 5, and it's just like, yeah, this is enough. So, it's been a little over 10 years. Card destruction has always been like that card. It was pushing it was sitting on the fence with Dark Worlds, but I feel like dragons have just pushed it over the fence, and I just feel like this card should be the card that gets hit for Elemental Dragon. I was checking decks of OCG. Some of them did not run Gold Sark, but all of them ran the 3 super rejuves and the card destruction. So I feel that card destruction should be banned. Now you guys are probably saying, well, Gold Sark, I feel is not the card that you should try to aim your anger at when it comes to dragons, because at least they use up that dragon that turn. Do you get what I'm saying? If they activate Gold Sark and banish the dragon, and then the dragon goes off and, they can search for a dragon, that's fine, because that dragon is used up for the turn. They use one card to get one card, and sure, 2 turns they get the card later, but you know what? That's perfectly fine. Gold Sark has been unlimited since March 2008, so it's been off of the list for to 3 for a while now, and I believe that the only reason why it was lower is because it was hard to obtain. I think it was like a big championship, and the card was like $5,000, and it was really hard to get hold of. So I believe that Konami wanted to hit it down, so because not everybody had the card. There's no easy way to get this really good card that allowed you to search for any card. But as time went by, Gold Sark started being played less and less. People thought it was too slow, and really the only deck that plays it is Elemental Dragon. So let's allow the Elemental Dragon players to, let's not hurt them too bad, so allow them to keep their Gold Sarks, and they have a card just like it, which is their Sword card, in which in my opinion the Sword card is even better. I actually found decks that were actually playing the Sword card and not Gold Sark when it came to the OCG. So Gold Sark's not the best card, and I feel like hitting it really won't phase them. So with banning Super Juke and banning card destruction and limiting Big Eye will be enough for the Elemental Dragons to step back a little bit next format and allow maybe other decks to be promoted. Alright, and the last banned card, which is kind of hard to say because this card has been on the fence for a long time, Pot of Avarice. I know you guys are like, no, not Avarice. Hear me out here. I feel that Pot of Avarice was sorta on the fence when it came to being ban worthy. Now, the card that is coming out, which is Pot of Duplicity, essentially is Pot of Everest in a more balanced form. So, how is Konami going to, promote this new card, especially if it's a secret rare, Pot of Duplicity, if Pot of Everest is sitting here as a common, and it's much more powerful and unrestrictive, It's much easier to just target 5 monsters, shuffle them back, and draw 2, than target monsters that are 3 different types, and then you can't conduct your battle phase. There's just restrictions on it, especially if it's going to be a secret rare, and I believe it comes out in Shadow Specters. They're going to have to ban Pot of Avarice to promote this card, or else no one's going to want to get Pot of Duplicity. So I feel that if any time ever, this is the best time for Konami to ban Pot of Avarice and promote players to buy Shadow Spectre, in which they can get their Pot of Duplicity, which is a much more balanced version of this card. So, yeah, there we go. I feel that Pot of Avarice might be banned. Alright, well, that's all the banned cards, so we're gonna go into the limited cards. We got the Acrobatic Monkey as my spacer. That's kind of like my thing, you guys know. So, first card limited, Star Hall. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, no, it has to be secrets. No, it has to be Judgment. No, it has to be the little boy. No, I am 90% sure on this one. It's going to be Star Hall, guys. In the V-Jump, the same with Elemental Dragons, where they said it was Super Rejuve, they said for spellbooks that it was Star Hall. And once you start really thinking about it, I actually agree with them. They still want the deck to be viable. They don't want to hurt the deck too much. The deck is 22% of the OCG meta, and what they want to do is hit Star Hall so they can promote the stronger monsters, because it seems like with 3 Star Halls stacking up, you really don't have to run the strong prophecy monsters, because even your weak monsters would be strong with 3 Star Halls, just playing all those spellbooks placed on counters. So by limiting Star Hall to 1, your weak monsters will still be weak, and your strong monsters will still be strong, creating that separation in which they want you to play the stronger prophecy cards like World of Prophecy, which is a secret rare, coming out in, Judgment of the Light, which they definitely want you to go buy, the pack so you can get your, your World of Prophecy and play it in your deck, So, what better way to not necessarily, hurt the deck where you don't want to play the deck anymore because they're still making profit off of it, but just enough to where, they slow it down a bit and promote other play besides, power up all my monsters with 3-star hauls. Oh, look how powerful they are. My dragon is 3,000 attack. So definitely by limiting star haul, that is how they're going to hit prophecies, and that's all they're going to do. And I'll put money on this one. I am 90% sure that star haul will be limited to 1. Alright, next card limited to 1. Atlantean Dragoons. I know what you guys are probably thinking, like, yeah, Mermails aren't the top deck anymore in TCG. In OCG, they're still a viable deck. And the problem with leaving Mermails alone is because Mermails are probably, at full power, are probably going to be stronger than the newer decks that they're trying to promote. It's going to be very hard for Konami to promote these new Synchros, the Phantom Beasts, the Boojins, when Mermails will just drown them in their sheer force and power. It's not really a smart business plan to allow the newer decks, which you're making money off of, to be beaten by this older deck that you're not really making money off of. And did you guys forget, early in the format, before Dragons and Prophecy really got out or at full strength, Mermails were the top deck, and they were just topping and kicking butt. It was Mermails and Fire Fist. And I know you guys are thinking, like, maybe Fire Fist are going to get hit. No, they want to promote sales. They're still making money off of Fire Fist. But, it's going to be hard for them to, really promote sales when they hit the Fire Fist. So they're definitely going to leave Fire Fist alone for this format. Maybe hit them in March of 2014. But this format, they definitely need to hit Mermails. They're not making any more money off of Mermails. They're not planning on making any more Mermail cards. So definitely a way to hit Mermails is to limit Dragoons. Dragoons is just that simple, that plus card. He's too strong for a searcher. He just creates a lot of plays. And if there was any card that you would limit in Mermails, it would be Atlantean Dragoons. So I feel that Dragoons is going to go to 1 because Konami needs to hit Mermails. Alright, another card to 1. I know. Whoa. Before I get the flame, before I get the dislike, I told you, I'm not biased. I'm not a butthurt Thunder King Raya person. I'm thinking it in logic. I'm thinking in Konami's mind. The cards, the newer decks that they're trying to promote, being Synchros, Fire Fist, Mecha Phantom Beast Planes, new Mecha Phantom Beast Planes, and Boojins. All 4 of them, what do they have a weakness to? Yes, Thunder King Rao. Whether it be being destroyed with the special summon or the searching, Thunder King Rao hurts them. Now, when Thunder King Rao got limited to 2, it really didn't change much. People were only playing 2, and they sided in 1. So they couldn't run that 1 on the side. So putting it down to 2 wasn't really enough to really change anything, and, putting it down to 2 was their way of testing the waters. They saw that it really didn't change much. Now, some people said, okay, well, I'll just play 2, while some people are like, well, if I can't play 3, I'm not going to play it at all. Which really wasn't a smart idea, but Thunder King Rao is a very powerful card that, locks down searches. Now, they're going to limit Thunder King Rao to promote these newer decks, and also to promote their card coming out in Shadow Specters called Mistake, where you can't add cards to your hand. So essentially, it's kind of a 2-for-1 where, they gotta push Thunder King away and be like, hey, look, play these new searcher decks, play these new decks. Thunder King won't be here to hurt you. Because, even in people's minds, they'll be like, well, I could run Boojin, but if I gotta run Tanky to search out Yamato. If someone plays Thunder King, I'm just screwed. So Konami is gonna be like, well, hey, if we limit Thunder King to 1, you'll definitely have a chance to play them Boojins. So, go buy the Boojins. They're in Judgment of Light. Enjoy. Purchase. Make us money. So, I feel that Thunder King will probably go down to 1. I know it's gonna be hurtful, and you guys are gonna be like, oh my god, no. But I can see Thunder King going down to 1. Alright. And probably the most biased card of them all. Like I said, this was mostly 100% biased, but I feel like, Konami could probably just let this one go, especially if they're planning on putting it at 10. But Big Eye, I feel like, should be limited to 1. It's kind of like that card where it's just kind of stupid and repetitive, and it really doesn't promote any other plays when it comes to, Dragons or any other deck that can make rank 7s. Unlike Draco Sack, they're not making any money off of Big Eye. Big Eye doesn't, come in a set that they're making money off of anymore. And, it's kind of redundant with the whole, Big Eye, I take your Big Eye, Big Eye, I take your Big Eye. And, it's just, I feel like this card should be limited to one. I bet a good majority of you guys agree with me on this. So this is probably the most biased card. I really don't have a true explanation why Konami would limit this one, but I just couldn't have a list without this being limited to one. And if it doesn't get limited to one, I wouldn't be surprised. But I definitely do feel that Konami should limit it. So that's the most biased card on there. All right, now we're gonna get limited down to two. Limited down to two Diva. Yeah. Like I said, they're gonna hit the Mermails, and what better way to hit the Mermails than hit Diva down to 2? I could have swore that Diva was actually hit at one point, but maybe it was just in my mind's eye, in which I thought that maybe Diva got hit, and then went back up to 3, but Diva has always been at 3 since, it came out, and, just Mermails being how powerful they are, and that they would be a more powerful deck than what the decks they're promoting. I definitely see that Diva would go down to 2, and see how it does there at 2, and if they need to, they can bring it back to 3, because September lists are the ones where it's after Worlds, where they hit things for next format for the next year. They shape the next entire year in September, and then March they fix things that they haven't fixed upon in September. So if you remember, September 2012, they hit windups a little bit, and in March they learned that windups are still there, and tried to shut them down. So definitely, I feel like this will be enough hit for Mermails to put them down, and if they need another shot, or another tranquilizer, then they can handle that in March. So I feel that Diva going down to 2, and Dragoons being at 1 will definitely be a big enough hit to maybe allow the newer decks to pop their heads through and be able to combat against these Mermails. And I know you guys are saying, no, not Compulse. Yes, I feel like Compulse will go down to 2 because they're trying to promote the new card XYZ Reborn. I mean, not XYZ Reborn. Why am I thinking of that card? XYZ Encore. And no matter how you look at it, when it comes to cards like Elemental Dragons and stuff, and any besides Evil Storms, Compulse is just a better card. Because they'll still get their monsters in defense, and the Elemental Dragon players really won't care. But if you Compulse them, they kind of care. But if you XYZ Encore them, they really don't care. So XYZ Encore is a good card. Is it better than Compulse? No. Compulse can bounce back Synchros. Compulse can bounce back just monsters in general. So it's really going to be hard for them to promote this XYZ Encore when Compulse is just arguably a stronger card. And they're trying to promote these newer decks. They're trying to promote Mecha Phantom Beasts, that deck that's truly supposed to make Draco sack. They're trying to promote Synchros. They're trying to promote Boojins. And what card can, pretty much hurt all of those decks? Compulse. And, Compulse is a really old card, and they generally look towards hitting older cards. So I definitely feel that they're probably going to put Compulse on the same stage with Bottomless Trap Hole, in which both of them being at 2, and just testing the waters and seeing how it is. But, with Compulse being able to hurt Synchros, which is, what they're trying to promote, I can see that, they're going to try to put down Compulse and be like, hey, don't Compulse the Synchros. If you want to get rid of Xyz, don't use Compulse, use XYZ Encore. So, I feel that Compulse will probably go down to 2. And, it's just that powerful card. Compulse is probably arguably one of the strongest traps of this format, being able to, just bounce back all the decks that exceed, and I definitely feel that Konami would want to put this down to 2 to promote XYZ Encore. Alright, to 3. I see Tour Guide going back up to 3. I know you guys probably saw my last ban list video, in which I stated that I felt that Tour Guide should go up to 3, but I definitely agree that Tour Guide will go back up to 3. A, Sangan is banned, it's not as powerful. B, they want to promote these new Fiend type because of Ghost Tricks. Ghost Tricks can utilize Tour Guide by being able to summon and make their boss monster Alucard. So what better way to promote this Dark Fiend deck of Ghost Tricks than allowing Tour Guide to be at 3 and be utilized to its full potential. Tour guide is still in the tins. If they decide to, reprint more of those tins, get your tour guide. There's a lot of things that Konami can do with a tour guide, and I just feel that putting it up to 3 won't hurt anybody, and actually, promote more play with them when Ghost Tricks come out here and the TCG, and they're already, doing their thing in the OCG. And the final card on my list is Tsukiyomi. Once again, this is kind of like the unbiased. This is kind of like the unbiased one where I really can't explain why they put it at 3. But I feel like when it doesn't do nothing for the format, which it really hasn't, Tsukiyomi, I feel like this card could go up to 3. And it's a spellcaster. Might be seen in some variants of spellbooks. Some E-Dragon players play it. So it's not like it's a bad card to put back up at 3. And every list has to have like that, kind of like that shocker, like, oh, okay, sure, card. And I feel like Tsukiyomi going up to 3 would kind of be that card. Alright guys, so this is my ban list prediction for March 2013 ban list. This is the unbiased version. So tell me what you guys think, and pretty much I'm just going to see how many cards I get correct, because I'm tried my best with this one. Special thanks to the RJB0 for, getting the whole business ideas in my head, where I wasn't just looking at and from a gaming standpoint, but from a business standpoint too. I really wanted him to, be here to do this video with me, but he's been kind of busy, and, I had to get this video out, because by the time this video goes up, it might be like a week or 2 weeks before the list is actually leaked, and last thing I need to do is to wait and it be too late, where I'd be like, hey, this is my prediction. Like, why do you need to predict when the list is right here? So, I wanted to get this out there and be like, yeah, here is what I believe will be hit, and we'll see how many of them I'm correct, and if I get the entire list correct, then that would just be awesome, because I definitely feel that these switches around are decent, smart business, and don't change the format of the game too much. They don't kill Elemental Dragons. Elemental Dragons will still be playable. They don't kill Prophecy. They don't kill Mermails. They help and promote Fire Fist, which they're trying to make money off of. They promote and help all the new decks that they're making, and this is just a very viable list. So tell me your opinion. If you have any concerns, go ahead and type in the comment, and we can go ahead and type it out. Tell me if I missed anything. If you feel like I've missed anything, then we can go ahead and just comment it out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I apologize if this video was too long, but I definitely want to explain everything. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys. Probably I will do a video going over the true ban list and being like, hey, I got this correct, or oh, well, how will this shape the game? As a YouTuber, I feel like I'm obligated to YouTuber. I feel like I'm obligated to do that, so I will. And I will see you guys with the March 2014. That sounded weird. March 2014 ban list prediction. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later.